What's up, welcome back. Now let's have a look at question 8, June exam 2024 grade 12, and then we're looking here at 8.1. 8.1 said determine f prime x from first principle when you're given this equation. We know from first principle that our equation on first principle, it is given by f prime x is equals to lim sh approaches 0, and then we are going to have f of x plus h is equals to minus f of x all over h. All right, all over h. Okay, there you go. So now let's go ahead and then solve this equation. Okay, so basically what you do in this case, where there's x, you add h. All right, so here we go. In this case, we're going to say lim as h approaches 0. Please note, guys, you must keep writing h approaches 0 until it does so. If it doesn't, you must keep writing it. There's no way for you to, you have to leave it out. So our equation is what? Is 2 minus 3. In this case here, where there's 3, we're adding what we're saying, we put, where there's x, we substitute that with x plus h all squared. Okay, because it is squared in this case, the x is squared on the equation. So minus the whole function, 2 minus 3x squared, and then we're gonna come here and say h approaches. The most important thing here, guys, is that your substitution needs to be correct. If your substitution is not correct, you are going to make a mistake. So now please make sure that your substitution is 100% correct. All right, so now after substitution here, this is what you're going to do. You're going to say lim as h approaches 0. Okay, there's a lot of questions like this ones, guys, that we did on this channel. Please make sure that you do watch our playlist on a derivation or calculus. Just search for it and then you will see it there, and I'll also leave it on the link on the description below this video. All right, so the best thing now after substitution, like I said, the most critical thing is substitution. After substitution, the only thing that you have to do is to expand and therefore simplify thereof. Minus 3, then we need to expand this one and then do binomial, remove the bracket. Okay, so here we can multiply through add by negative. We're already here, so we can say negative times minus 2 minus 2, negative times negative positive 3x squared, and then h at the bottom here, lim as h approaches 0. Like I said, guys, if you don't write lim h approaches 0, you are going to lose a mark. All right, so because I have seen that you're going to lose 1 mark for not writing this until it approaches 0. All right, so therefore 2, and then we need to remove the bracket here. When we remove the bracket, we're going to have x squared, x times x, we're going to have x times h is going to be xh, and then we're going to have 2 of them, 2xh, and then h times h, we're going to have plus h squared. Therefore minus 2 plus 3x squared. All right, therefore we're still going along here, approaching 0 again. So therefore in this case, I'm just going to continue here at the top here. It's equals to lim as h approaches 0. What we're going to have here at the top, we're going to have 2 minus 3. I'm removing the bracket with the 3 now. 3 times x squared is going to be 3x squared, and therefore plus, okay, no, negative 3 times 2 is going to be equals to negative 6xh, and then we're also going to have minus 3h squared, then minus 2 plus 3x squared all over h in this case. All right, so now we're still writing lim as h approaches 0, so therefore we need to simplify. Positive 2, negative 2 is gone, then a negative 3x squared, positive 3x squared is gone, then we're left with negative 6xh minus 3h squared. Therefore we're going to take out h as a common factor at the top. We're going to left with minus 6x minus 3h all over h. Therefore h and h would cancel out, and therefore h will approach 0 now in this case, so I don't have to write it anymore. There it is, it has approached 0. Therefore our answer of x prime f of x is equals to negative 6x, which make sense. So please guys, make sure that you get full marks on this one. Most critical thing is your substitution. All right, now let's move on to 8.2. okay, 8.2, we're gonna have to do 8.2.1. 8.2.1 says here find fx prime when you're given f of x is equals to 2x to the power of 4 minus 3x plus a squared. All right, so in this case guys, they're just trying to confuse you by writing a squared. You are going to treat it as a constant. Remember, you are taking the derivative in terms of x, so whatever doesn't have x is therefore treated as a constant. Remember what we're using here, we're using derivative from first principle. So if you have something like that, which you are given f of x like that, so therefore x prime will be, what do? You drop the n, drop the exponent, therefore you minus 1 from that, the exponent. So let's do that right here now. X prime, say we drop the exponent, so it's going to be 2 times 4, then you minus 1 from that exponent. 4 minus 1 is going to be equal to 3. Then in this case here, you drop 1, which is our exponent here, it's 1. You drop 1, then you minus 1 from that exponent, which is going to give us x equals to 0. So this one, it's a squared, it doesn't have an x, therefore you treat it as a constant, therefore it's going to be equals to 0. So therefore when you simplify this, you are going to be left with 8x cubed minus 3. Anything to the power of 0 is equals to 1, so it's going to be minus 3 times 1, which is just minus 3. All right, so now moving right along, let's do 8.2.2. 8.2.2, it says here, 8.2.2, it says here we need to find dx. So we need to find the derivative in terms of x in this case. So what are we given? We are given an equation in this format here, which is 2x to the power of 3 minus square root of x all over x. Right, close bracket. I don't have a space here, so I'm going to continue up here. Okay, so now in this case, I think the best thing to do first here is to simplify this part. So we are going to divide everything by the x, which is at the denominator. We divide everything by x, negative square root of x all over x. Okay, so therefore after this, what do you do now? If the bases are the same, when x, we're going to be left with 2x squared, and then here we're going to be having a half minus 1. So it's going to be equals to negative x, which is a half minus 1. Okay, close bracket. We haven't taken the derivative as yet, so we're still just simplifying squared. So this one here will give us negative to the power of negative half. So now what do we do? Now we can take the derivative now. So therefore the derivative here will just be equals to, you drop this 2 here, and then it's going to times this 2 is going to be 4x, then you minus 1, you're left with 1 at the top, and then you drop the half, is going to be plus a half here, then you say minus 1 there is also going to give us x to the power of minus 3 all over 2. And that's how you would have taken the derivative of this one. All right guys, I hope it's clear and I hope you are following. Please, every time we are solving the equation on this video, please pause it and try it on your own, and then check if you got it right and check the explanation thereof. Okay, moving right along, let's move to 8.3. 8.3 said the following information is given for a function of x, and then it says here that f of x when x is equals to 4, y is 5, and then when x is equals to when f prime 4 is equals to 4, therefore our y is equals to 7. Determine the equation of the tangent of f if x is equals to 4. Okay, so now what this does, this one, remember, when you take the first derivative of a function, it gives you the gradient. Okay, first derivative of the function gives you the gradient. So therefore what they have done here, they have given us the gradient. So the gradient in this case is equals to 7. You get it when x is equals to 4. And then also they have given us two coordinates when x is equals to 4 on our function y is equals to 5. So therefore we can come here and say, okay, in order for us to find this function, we know the gradient, which is 7, then we can be able to find c either. So that's 7x plus c. We've got two values here, which is x and y. We substitute them in this equation. Y is equals to 5 and therefore x is equals to 4. Then we can easily find c, and then in this case our c would be, if I did this correctly, our c should be negative 23. All right, so therefore with that, therefore now we have got our function here, which is just going to be 7x minus 23. Easy, straightforward, if you understand the principle. I must stress that as well. All right, so guys, this is how you would deal with a question like this one. That was question 8 of June exam, rather, 2024 grade 12. Let me see you on the next upload. We will be doing question 9.